All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you served in the military, not only do you deserve more than you're getting, but there are lots of things that you are entitled to. And to help you sort all that out, there is a great new book called The Military Advantage. And it's written by the Director of Strategic Alliances and Military.com, Terry Howell, who himself served in the military. Terry, welcome, sir.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, it's good to have you. This is quite a comprehensive work, almost 400 pages, and I get, the purpose of it is it is the military.com guide to military and veterans benefits, and I guess now more than ever, this is something that is needed by everyone who's entitled to these benefits.
I hope so. In fact, this is our fourth or fifth edition. We've been doing it for a while, but each year we have to go back and review all the benefits and make sure that we've got it up to date and the correct figures and numbers, so it remains a viable option.
Well, what do you find to be the most, or the most common problem faced? We've heard about certainly the waiting lines, the waiting times, the inadequate facilities. But as far as veterans applying for these benefits and taking advantage of everything they're due, what do they miss most often?
Well, for years it was the GI Bill. A lot of guys didn't realize that it had at that time a 10-year expiration date. So 10 years goes by pretty quick when you get out, and then when they try to use it, they find out. So that was a big issue. Through our work and the VA's work over the last few years, people are much better prepared to use that one. So that's not as much the issue. I think the biggest thing that happens with veterans is they get out, and a lot of them don't want to have anything more to do with the government. They're fed up, they're frustrated, and they kind of don't realize what they're really missing out on. I mean, depending on the state you're in, there's even a bunch of state benefits like free fishing licenses or special tags for your auto license and so on that just kind of get overlooked. The most popular benefits that people tend to take advantage of, because it doesn't require a disability or anything else, though, are the GI Bill and the VA home loan programs. Are probably the most popular and widely used.
So if people have questions and get the book, does this tell people how to deal with the bureaucracy involved? Does it get them around the red tape? Does it help them get the services they need, in addition to explaining to them what they're entitled to?
It's both. So I would say that in the end, there really is no way around the red tape, but understanding how the benefits work and how to apply and where to go if you don't get what you expect from it are all the things that really add value in the book, I think, because a lot of guys will put in for something and they're told no, and a lot of times it's due to either not having reached out and gotten help from one of the veteran service organizations, missing something in their report. In my case, I know that I put in for a disability and they gave me a lower rating because I used one word in my application that only showed up once on my medical record, but variations of that medical term were peppered throughout it. And so what it came down to is the VA, at least at that time, was not using doctors or anyone with medical experience to look at your record. It was just an appraiser who looked at it, and they looked for only the word that was in your claims application. So again, that's the kind of thing that people can pick up from the book, and also there's a lot of resources there, and that's what the biggest recommendation I can give anybody is find a veteran service organization that has a district rep who actually can be, in a lot of ways, your mentor and your liaison with the VA. They're paid for by federal government grants and charters, and that's what their sole business is. And they usually can be found at places like the vet centers, which almost every city has a vet center. And
military.com offers what?
Well, in addition to a lot of information around these, in fact, we have a lot of those veteran service organizations who provide content for our site. They help us make sure that what we write is spot on. We have a team of 3 or 4 of us who kind of go through all the time to make sure that our site is up to date on the content. But there's great opportunities to network with other veterans and, again, find those resources. And a lot of times we're just pointing back to the VA. I mean, when I first started with the company, the VA, you couldn't understand anything they wrote.
Right.
that's how we pretty much got to be where we are in the early years, was being able to translate.
A VA translator. No, yeah, very important. All right, Terry Howell, again, the book, The Military Advantage, folks, for all you proud men and women who have served. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. When we come back, more of the Steve Malzberg Show.